Why hello there, my fellow mech smashers, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld, the first Wendigo, episode 180, Stabby Robots. Another thing that's interesting is because of our butchery is under a roof inside a room, nothing decays here. Can I add a burn option? Nah, Wendy wouldn't waste like that. I'm saying, you know, there's a possibility of doing it that way, but not for Wendy. So all the mechs are fixed up. Wendy will have to sit on the throne a while to get her psi focus back up because she just used a lot of it for Krieg's mental break. And these babies are born in about a third of a day, half a day. Thereabouts. So the other thing I could do with the this void space is it could be egg storage or additional vats, things like that. I could put additional vats back here. I think I'll probably end up doing that. The only caveat is there's 2 overhead mountain tiles that I need to avoid, unless I want to risk the wrath of bugs spawning in my growth vat room, which I really don't. That sounds like a terrible thing to have happen to like test subjects that are potentially vulnerable. You've heard of the late game, me shaving the mountains. Now witness the late of straightening the mountains. Yes. Yeah. Rearranging genes and rearranging mountains are kind of on the same order of magnitude for Wendy. It's just manipulate the world the way she wants it to be formed. I think it's fair to say that that's roughly probably how she views it. Just like, yeah, I'll make reality the way I want it. Who could stop me? And yeah, exactly. The boundary walls of the farms are almost done. And yes, we will be attempting to mass butcher. Alright, at least for now, I think what I'll do is I'll just unforbid the butcher human likes down here. But as soon as I finish the farms and vats, I will ramp up the rate at which... Oh, we have a mech hive raid. The rate at which we process the ones that are in storage. So... the mech hive raid is unfortunate. It's 3 groups, but it is a prepare a while. What's unfortunate is I think I have some people that are like rather close, or mechs that are rather close to being smoted, if you will. Wonder what kind of mechs these are. They don't look like very many pods, so I'm guessing it's a ton of centipedes. Oh, no, I'd be wrong. 16 scythers. It looks like they're all scythers. Where's the last group? Yeah, they are. 14 scythers, 16 scythers, 14 scythers. Alright. Well, considering it's prepare a while, I'm going to get my shooters together and just start clearing them out. Rather than wait around for them to attack. Scythers are not great targets for Uranum slug turrets because they're fast moving and they're small. Slug turrets could probably handle it, but I don't want to leave it to that. It's good shooting training, I suppose. The other thing I wanted to do is to reassess Bryzit's genes. So while everyone else is on lockdown, let's quickly do that. So the really important things for Bryzit, of course, is our Psycaster. So Psy Super Sensitive would be really good. Fast wound healing. Already has robust and reduced pain and cold tolerant. We'll do super immune as well. Very fast runner. This is going to be really expensive to do. And then we did want to throw in the new social and crafting. Well, actually, before I do this, let's make sure I understand what skills. So crafting, medical, and social is what we're aiming for. That's going to be pretty expensive, but I will do my best. It also might be worth using 2 Archite capsules for the Archite metabolism, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. And because he's now wielding a mace, I can also give him things like the horror vision traits, like nearsightedness. But alright, let's try this. So super fast wound healing, super immune, side sensitive with kind instinct, and dead calm wherever it is. There it is. Very fast runner, very happy. So negative 21. That's gonna be hard to come back from. We'll do awful shooting, poor construction, awful mining, awful animals, awful intellectual, awful art and plants, strong social, great crafting. I don't think I'm actually going to opt for great medical. Because metabolically, I don't think I'm going to be able to afford it. Yeah, the size representative is just really expensive. That's a -6. He'll lose his floppy ears. Yeah, it's true. Probably for the best. Because he can skip, I can get rid of very fast runner. It's not that important for a skipper to own. And then I'm really only looking for like one more. There is also a possibility of making him not a great crafter, even though he's a mechanator, because other mechanators can do his work for him. I could do weak melee damage, bring him down to -5. But it's weird because he does have a melee weapon. Let's get rid of super immunity and just do strong immunity. I like it. So his social crafting, very side sensitive and heavy, with fast wound healing. Yeah, this should do. Is there any awfuls that I did not hit? So shooting, construction, mining. No, I think I hit them all. Okay. Yeah, super immunity is pretty easy to lose, just because it's useful like maybe once every 2 years, you know. And we're starting to get healthy vat breaths. So the giveaway timer is up, and the eligibility is open. So a little reminder: Dolo is a $5 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the other one is going to be a 4. And what we ultimately do with them is kind of up to you. But for now, I know that they're going to be implanted with the baby xenogerms. Which means... Frosty, go rescue. You never entered a giveaway? How do you do so? Just by typing. So you're already eligible. Because technically this is raid, as was the last one, but I didn't turn red for that. Unfortunately, one thing I didn't... actually, Bryza, come back. The one thing I didn't account for is nullifying Krieg's mental break means that Wendy does not have a lot of psi focus left for berserk casting. Little oversight of mine, but I'll just tap Bryza to come be the sub. Is human meat viable for VATS? It is, but it wouldn't be wasted on VATS. Even if I have a lot of it. Wendy kind of has an ethos of, like, the meat is for victors. You know? It's victory meat to be celebrated, so she wouldn't waste it on babies that don't deserve it. Is sort of her, her ethos. But yeah, I can show you what can be loaded into the vats. So in terms of nutrition, it is any meal, any raw food. It's actually a really good way to get rid of insect meat and raw fungus, which people don't particularly like to consume because it doesn't have any negative effects as a result. Don't shoot Bryza. Also occurred to me, Bryza probably should be rigged with a shield belt. Yeah, there's that group. Gone. So I'll try to make a mental note to have him throw a shield belt on now that he's like a brawler. Okay, and Fangface is now implanting the baby with a baby grow-up gene. And I think I need to make more baby grow-up genes, so... Is there any greats that I missed out on? No. So we'll continue with the same types. Strongs don't help babies, it's the greats that do. The difference is strong does not give passions, whereas greats do. Okay, here comes the other two groups at the same time. Might be a little bit too much for those shooters to handle, but we'll see. I can always pull them back to the slug turret area. And then the other baby was healthy as well. So Dolo, we're going to stick you back in the vet. And then Frosty, go rescue baby so that we can implant it. Hey, Wicked Crow, thank you for the sub. The count begins, yeah. The count up from 1. But thank you. I'll drink to that. There's not a lot of humanoid firepower in this colony. Which is fine. We are monsters that like to shred our food with our hands. Yeah, I'm gonna be using the uranium slugs. I can barely get rid of one group, and the second one's incoming. Are piles of resources usable cover? Only, like, slag and chunks. Other things like this are not usable cover. If you ever wonder about it, you can just hit the I info tab, and it will say cover effectiveness. So, like, slags and chunks are 50%. Barricades are 55%. Walls are 75%. Doors, so on and so forth. They all have a cover effectiveness. Whereas if you click on, like, uranium, they won't have a cover effectiveness because they can't be used as cover. Raffle timers finished up, didn't they? Let me do the eligibility one more time, because the eligibility, like, reset. It timed out. So, there it is again. Sorry about that. I blame being in a raid. I kind of wish shooters, I mean, I know that you can micromanage it, but I wish shooters prioritize closer targets. Or, alternatively, targets that that they hit with the most accuracy, depending on the weapon type. Because some weapons are bad at hitting close targets, like sniper rifles are better at medium to long range. But regardless, it's just a hodgepodge of random targeting. I know there are mods that do it, but I wouldn't consider using said mods. Alright, I think there's only like 3 left, so let's turn these off. Allow the mechs to wander again. Allow the colonists out of the walls. Double check numbers. Alright, there is 1 left. Turrets are quite effective against small targets. They're not ineffective, it's just the cost to kill ratio is kind of rather bad. It's way more effective to have autocannons, not slugs, to kill scythers, as autocannons will expend a lot fewer resources for the kill. Whereas slugs are very expensive to reload. Now, with that said, I do have 4,330 uranium, so I'm not exactly on the ropes. Baby, you're starving. Well, okay, that's fine. Stick you right back into the vat. Vat will feed you. Oops, doing that wrong. Let's see here. The only other problem I'm going to have with these farms is, and I think I'm actually going to change the way the walls are laid out. Because the way they're set up here is it's going to be very, very hard to traverse around them. Because you have to crawl over farms to get to the farms that are deeper. So I'm going to remove some of the walls to allow for like a better walking path. Oh joy. And the blight begins. It's weird to see the sun out here on the map tile and then go back into my colony. At this point, we have so many people that have like dark vision. I could probably start to get rid of all the lights everywhere and just go dark if I wanted to. I might not make the effort because it's not really worth the effort. Alright, so first is a stickiest. I'll allow it because your other person is a prisoner that I could rename. And I think you'd prefer to have a colonist over a prisoner, so you are now the stickiest. I wonder if you're probably not even related to the other stickiest. And then number 2 is Maxu. Maxu, you already exist, so I'm going to re-roll that. Wendigo. Wendigo, are you a mech? There's a lot of names for me to remember. I don't think you are. So this one will be Wendigo. I did have an Wendigo at one point. I had a prisoner Wendigo. And you're still, okay, you're still in the prison. So I'm going to re-roll both of you and Stickiest because you're both ex-prisoners. And we'll have you guys become the new spawns. So then those prisoners are going to be named Lady Stormguard. Losing your identity here. And Nitro Leap. That's not going to be a little confusing for Wendy to just like rename random prisoners. I see no problem with that. Congrats. Oh, these were granite, huh? How much granite do I have? Not a lot of it. Let's do uranium. Doing a slight redesign here. But it should look nice once I'm done, I hope. So farms first in order to support the the increased need for additional baby food for the vets. I might need another cooking stove. I do have the space for it right here. So if it turns out that I do need one, I'll make one. I could also allocate my slaves like Kath to make the food, because fabricors don't work super efficiently, whereas humans work a little bit faster. I'm also going to raise the components queue, because I know that I'm going to need a lot of components for this farm, so I might as well just get ahead of the requirements here. Bring it up to 150. Oh, we have a plague. Oh, just a Frosty. Yeah, because he's sickly. She. Put a mech booster around the butchery? I could. I don't need to just yet. It's not my priority. I'm going to work on the priorities first. Priority being farms and vats. Other things take a backseat to it. Given that the farm is going to require an insane amount of components, I might not have components to spare for niceties like that. So the purpose of this is so that I can change this back wall entirely. In fact, to make the work a little bit more sane, I'll force these doors open too. It might be time to try calling that weapon caravan. There's going to be a lot of weapons out there that I don't particularly care to haul into the base, so I'll have Wendy phone a friend. Calling a war merchant, and then calling the royals. I'm still hopeful that I'll be able to buy good genes, but my track record so far has been pretty terrible. So I know it looks weird what I'm doing right now, but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to leave a walking path. Oh, okay, apparently not here. Leave a mostly intact walking path around the farms, so that farmers and farm bots can easily traverse the area. Even though it will be a little bit more expensive to heat, it will improve the efficiency of these farms, so that because walking over hydroponic benches is gonna suck in the long run. So there we go. I fill it all in and then I decide not to. Yeah, it's possible that Bryzit will get sent out to do the trade runs in the spring. Absolutely. We'll see if it gets voted on. I do want to, whether we do that or not, give him better social, though, as he's probably the best person to trade if Wendy is death resting. Oh, look at that. He is wearing the wrong helmet again. They just love to put on the wrong helmets. Ryzen, weren't you wearing that? There we go. So you can see the butchering of human likes gets a wee bit messy. I'm going to pause it for briefly just that we can haul and smelt the clothing and destroy it too. This is starting to look like a very evil ancient complex. Which is, I suppose, exactly what Wendy was going for. You get a factory must grow kind of vibe. Yeah, I get that. It's very brutalist too. Looks like my slate blocks is running low. That's a misnomer. This is just for slate. So what's the timer on you guys? 5 days, 9 days, 8 days, and 34. So some gene scanning on the horizon. I can't wait. The rice out here had been hauled, which is good. Didn't want it to go to waste. And then as soon as the current construction priorities are done, we'll do some of the deconstruction to make this like a larger farming facility, which should help with the efficiency of harvesting and sowing. What did that say? Okay, yeah, it's right. I'll going to do it. And we're going to want more baby xenogerms for future baby implants. You're trying to make a choice between stockpiles and shelves in your colony? So the way I would judge it is if you have a finite amount of space, go shelves. But if you have a lot of space, just go stockpiles, because it's less effort. Also, one of the disadvantages of shelves is it can be tricky to pick what you want to click out of it. So, for instance, if I'm like, oh, I want the masterwork corset, you know, I have to sort of dig around for it on a shelf. So shelves are really good for things that like stock up high, like silver, for instance, where like it doesn't really matter. You can condense it into one shelf, but if you have like artifacts and things like that to equip, like these lances, it can be rather annoying to try to pick out what you want. But at the end of the day, it's all personal preference. And then some things can't store on shelves, like minified buildings or toxic waste packs. They can never be shelved without mods. So you'll still need stockpiles anyway. They're unavoidable to some degree or another. All right, now we're starting to break it down. And then we're gonna have to redo all the wiring and do some more paving. But this farming complex is gonna come together pretty soon. Something like that. I'll make changes once, actually, just so that we dismantle stuff, I'll forbid the cables for now. Surprise it, you lost your medical. So no more medical license for you. But your social is up a bit. He doesn't have the good learner genes anymore, though. So he's not going to learn social very quickly. But there wasn't really space in his xenogerm unless I wanted to make, like, huge changes, which I didn't. Alright, this is looking good. Are you a prisoner or a regular pawn? You are a baby. Oh, no, you're a prisoner, sorry. Got mixed up who you were asking about. I'll be solving these power outages soon. We do have a roof collapse, so I'm going to need a pillar in here, which is fine. Probably more than one, I'd imagine, given the how large this piece of the farming complex is. And then what I might also want to do to pair with this is to add solar panels to where the wind turbines are to make sure that we have enough power to power up, you know, 2 new hydroponic farms. Because that's not exactly a inexpensive project, power-wise. So as you can see, there's a lot more space inside the farm for for moving around so that the robots and the people don't get like stuck trying to vault over the basins. The area already has so much room that more heaters may be already necessary. Yeah, I already built 3 additional heaters. So I'm on top of that. I'll keep an eye on the ambient temperature as winter sets in to make sure that that doesn't become a problem. All right, I think this center farm... is all powered on. Good. Hey, Moxie. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld, the first Wendigo, which originally streamed live on Twitch May 28th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams, as well as a link to Twitch. If you'd like to join my gaming community, Rhadamant.com also has a link to Discord. Thank you so very much for watching. A special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. Hope to catch a next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Wendigos.